Here we are going to do the top 25 NBA players this season. We did this for teams. We kind of ranked how each team's season went. I know this says top 100, but ignore it. It's got a lot of players because it's meant for a top 100, but we're just going to go through and pick. I scanned through it quickly. I think everyone that could be considered a top 100-ish player is here. Again, we're not doing 100. We're going to do 25. I'm going to give my potential snubs, which means I can only have 5 here. While I go throughout the video, I might have a more than 5, but when the video is over, I have to pick the 5 that I want, and then extras is just they didn't make it, and it's just so we can get them out of here. Um, and again, I am gonna put players, and I'm going to move them once I like again where I put them in the first spot is not how I'm going to keep them. So make sure you stay till the end of the video to see my final answer because I will be giving, even though it is categorized as in groups of 5, it is going to be in order. So like if I have Trey Young here, Jalen Johnson here, that means Trey Young is 1, Jalen Johnson is 2, the next player would be 3, 4, and so on and so forth um from all the players that are here. Now, off what if we just starting right now? Trey Young probably would be in this category as a first thought. Had a good season. I don't know the exact numbers, but he was I don't know if he led the league in assists, but he was close. Jalen Johnson, not there yet. Jason Tatum, I think without a doubt this season has been top 5. And there are injured players in this, so I'm going based on how those injured players played this year. Um, as a first thought, Tatum is top 5. Um, Jalen Brown would probably be here. I think. Um, yeah. Again, this is it, we might fly through some of these quickly, but then when we get to the end, I will talk through it more. Drew, no. Porzingis, no. Derek White, no. Nobody. What is going on? Nobody for Brooklyn. Um, LaMelo could maybe be a snub, based on the year he kind of had. Brandon Miller, nope. Zach Levine, nope. Vooch, nope. Kobe White, nope. This will not be in order, as you can see. I'm just kind of putting players in there. Donovan Mitchell has got to be in here, no lower, I would think. Evan Mobley, probably here. Jared Allen, I don't think makes it. And then Darius Garland. Darius Garland maybe is a snub, maybe. Luca, I think the way he was playing, he was not top 5 this year. I don't think he was top 5. I think some other players that we'll get to were better. I'm going to put him in the 6 through 10 range. Again, this is for this season only. Remember, this season. And I'm pretty much just taking into effect of regular season. Kyrie, I'll put in potential snubs because he's someone I have to think about later on. Clay, no. Gafford, no. Jokic, right there. Jokic will not be moving. He is probably the greatest player. He is the best player in the league. Jamal Murray, I can't say I will think about any of these Nuggets players. Cade, probably going in this category, at least. And again, I have done a video like this before where I gave my top 10 players in the middle of the season, but I was taking into account of injuries. Cade was in my top 10, but again, I was using injuries in that list. So that's why this might look a little different. Duran, no. Curry, somewhere in here. He was not a top 10 player this season to me. Had probably his worst year in a long time. Sengun. I'm gonna put him in potential snubs. First time All-Star. None of these guys. Halliburton probably is around here as well. Siakam could be a guy I think about. No Miles Turner. Kawhi. I don't think this is the year for Kawhi. I don't think, although games will take account, but I'm still going to count these players. I think Kawhi's sample size for this season just wasn't big enough personally for me. His teammate, though, I think might be in this 21 to 25 range. Zubac, I don't think has been a top 30-ish player. Norman Powell, no. LeBron, hey man, this is gonna get hard to do with when this area gets so big. Um, so yeah, I might have to scroll a little bit. Anthony Davis, how he was playing, he's probably a top 10 player. Reeves, no. Ja, I'll think about it, but no. Jaren might be in this range. Desmond Bain, no. Jimmy, absolutely not. Bam, nope. Tyler Hero, no. I guess I'll put him in snub for now, just so I think about him. Giannis, top 5, of course. Dame, put him in this area for now. Again, there's going to be more people here, but we will kind of figure some things out. Chris Middleton, no. Anthony Edwards, at least 6 through 10, nothing lower. Rudy Gobert, no. Randall, I don't think so. Reed, no. Although, again, I might as well just put players like that here for now. Zion, no. Even though he had a good season. DeJounte, no. 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 Jalen Brunson is going to be wherever Jalen Brunson ends. Him and Anthony Edwards are going to be right next to each other. I don't know who I pick over those two when we get there. Cat, top 15 player probably. Mikal, no, nope, nope. Shea, 100%. Ooh. Again, best players in the league does not mean MVP. So I think these top 3 is 100% set in stone. Chet, he will be there. J-Dub, we're putting in snubs. No Caruso, no Hartenstein. Paolo looked like a top 20 player, probably a top 15 player. Franz, put you in snubs for now. Suggs, no. Embiid, I think, was like a top 25 player, maybe. No. I put Maxi right there with him for now. Durant was a top, probably 15-ish player. Booker, I'll put you in this area too. Beal, no. Aiton, no. Grant, no. No. De'Aaron, I'll put you in snub so we talk about you later. Sabonis, I'll put you top 25. No. Wemby has been, I mean, a top. Wemby was 100% a top 15 player without a doubt. No. Let me just make sure. Scotty, no. Nobody here. All right. I think we've got enough players to make out our top 25. So LeBron, I think based off this season, these top 4 are correct. This is how I would have my top 4 based off this season alone. LeBron for a while I had as top 5. You know what? Let's do some stat checking. Just I mean, again, stats don't tell the whole story, but let's just look. About 24, 8 and 8. Great season. Let's look at Anthony Edwards. 28, 6 and 4. And then let's look at Brunson. Those are kind of the 3 players I'm debating between for this 5th spot. And I think I might leave it like that. Let me see what Luca did. Is he above Ant in 50 games? 28, 8 and 7. Still a really good season, even though everything that happened that year. Ooh. But again, it's not all based on stats. I think Anthony Edwards 6, Jalen Brunson, mm, maybe like this. So this would be one, two, three, four, five, top five, 6, 7, 8. Although I don't know if I want to keep LeBron as his top five, man. I really don't. I really don't. I don't know. It's gonna be so hard. All right. I think then 6, 7, 8. Anthony Davis. Let's see. Again, let me just Anthony Davis, 25, 11, and 3. Let's look at like Wemby, 24, 11, and 4. Pretty much the same stats between Wemby and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was so good, I think, this year that I think I'm putting Donovan Mitchell here, then there. So, mm, okay. So I think this is my top 10 in order, based on again people that are injured or playing. So Luca's here, AD's here, um, Vic is here. Paid players are here that wouldn't be there generally. And then Vic 11, Curry 12, Cat 13, Durant 14. Let me look. Let's see. Let's look at Halliburton versus Cade. And Halliburton, Cade, and Harden. So Halliburton 18 and a half, 9, almost 39% from 3. Cade 26, 6 and 9 on 36% from 3. And then let's look at Harden. 23, 6 and 9 on 30. Oh man. I think Cade's 15. Okay, let's look at Paolo as well. Paolo, because I can take him into consideration. He was so good this year. Paolo maybe 16th. Oh man, this is hard. I don't know. Harden, I think, is going to be top 20-ish. I think he had a better season than Jaylen Brown did. Jaylen Brown might fall out of top 20 based on this year. Let's look. Trae Young, 24 and 11. Not great shooting numbers, so I'm not too upset at something like that being in the 21-25. Mobley being DPOY helps him for sure. 18-9, 37% from 3. He's probably over a guy like Trae Young. Jaren had an up and down-ish season. He was the best Grizzly player. He might make an all NBA team, honestly. So good defensively. Fouls way too much, but I think so. See, a lot of these players ago, like I know around what they average, but like sometimes looking at stats and things like that just helps. Like Dame had a good season too. Embiid, am I really putting Embiid as a top? What did he do this year? 19 games, 24 and 8. No, 20. He didn't even shoot 30% from 3. Again, injuries. I know. Injuries. But that's bad. No, I can't. I can't. I cannot do it. Maybe drop him to a snub. Maxi, I think he played enough games to where it shouldn't matter for him too much. Maxi, 26-6, 52 games. Booker and Sabonis. Booker didn't have a greatest year either. Didn't shoot great again, just kind of like Trey Young. Sabonis, 19, 14, 6. Sabonis is probably over some of these. So I think I'm putting Evan Mobley here right after Harden. I think I go Jaylen Brown. I think this might be the order. And then Devin Booker's a snub. He's got to be one of my snubs. All right, LaMelo. Oops, LaMelo. In how many games? 47 games, 25, 5 and 7. He shot his worst 3-point percentage year. His worst field goal percentage year, the most turnovers, or tied for the most amount of turnovers. That's a hard one, man. LaMelo is a rough one for me to do. Let me look at a guy like Garland. He had definitely a better season. Oh man, 20-7 is better than I thought. 20-7 is much better than I thought. Okay. Efficiency wise, I think I'm putting him over LaMelo. Kyrie before the ACL stuff. 50 games, 25 or 4. Still efficient as always. Man, these snubs are going to be hard to pick, man. These snubs are going to be hard to pick. I think Sengun's a year away still. I got to drop Sengun down. Siakam. His regular season 27. Pretty efficient. I think Ja had not his greatest season, but 23-7, not very efficient. I think Ja maybe misses the cut. If I have Ja miss a cut, that means Tyler Hero's missing the cut. Joel Embiid, I'm sorry, the games are not a great thing. I can't look over the games. Franz might need to be higher than a snub. Although, but he just doesn't shoot great, dude. I'm not in love with his game, if I'm being honest. He had a good season, but again, career low field goal percentage. What was the 3-point percentage? Not a career low because last year was bad, but this year was not any better. More points per game, more assists, more rebounds. Okay, Franz. All right, and then the last guys, J-Dub, Randall, and Fox. We kind of have to pick between. J-Dub, first time All-Star, 21, 5 and 5. I love me some J-Dub, man. Okay. Randall, 19-7. I don't think Randall makes this. Good year. Again, he's had good playoffs. And De'Aaron. How do we 23? Not very efficient either. What are we looking at? Pretty much his career low, except for his rookie year in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. Whoa, was his career low? Yeah, he'll be back. He'll have a good season next year. Who do I like more? Then this comes down to not who do I like more? Who do I think had been better? because we've got 7 guys in this potential snub, but only 5 can be here. Franz would have been an all-star, I think, this year if he didn't get hurt. I think him and Paolo both would have been all-stars if they didn't get hurt this year. I think honestly, I really think I'm about to do this where Jaylen Brown goes here, Tyrese Maxey is a snub, and J-Dub is the 20th best player. Because I think there's a real world where he makes all NBA. And all NBA is not top 20, it's top 15 technically. But again, we have players that are injured, like Durant, like Luca, AD, Vic, Kyrie, things like that. I'm not Durant always efficient, so it's always hard to look at him, but maybe Durant drops. I think the way that Paolo was going would have been he was a top 15 player. Was Jada better than Mobley? See, I gotta hold on. Let me finish up this snub stuff. It's a lot of cards. Siakam versus I think I'm gonna put Franz out. I think I put it's either LaMelo or Maxi for me that goes out. Um, I think I'm gonna put Maxi out. Some close outs, but let's go through this one more time for my final answer. Jokic 1, Giannis 2, Shea 3. I'm debating between doing this where we've got Shea at 2, Giannis at 3, but I think Giannis. Although actually, no. Shea, I think, had the second best season. I think Shea second. I think Shea is second. Giannis third, Tatum fourth, LeBron fifth. Again, it's kind of between Ant and LeBron. Do I give it to Ant? Ant had an amazing year, man. I think I'm doing it. I'm giving Ant that fifth spot. LeBron six, Lucas seven, Brunson eight, 89, Mitchell 10, Vic 11th. Although Vic 11th, I think I'm putting 80 at 10. I think I'm just switching Mitchell and AD, Vic, Curry, Cat, Cade, Paolo, Durant, Halliburton, Harden, Mobley, J Dub. Okay, all right. I like that. Brown, Trey Young, Jaren, Dame, and Sabonis, and then Booker. This isn't in order. The potential snubs is not in order. These are just 5 players that I think were the closest to being top 25 based off, how their season went, what their stats were like, the games played. Again, I counted players, all the players that were hurt, but there's not again, I took Joel Embiid probably wasn't outside of a top 30 player, but 19 games, I just can't rely on it. So I put him out. Um so Booker, Garland, LaMelo, Kyrie, and Siakam, I think would probably have been just outside top 25. And then these players, I mean, we can just put these back into the down there. So this is the final thing. I mean, again, Markkanen, not a great season. Scotty Barnes could maybe have, but I don't think Scotty Barnes was top 30 this year. I think this is my final thing. Again, it is super hard to rank players, so please, if you have somebody at 14th that I had at 13th, don't make a big, thing about it because it's a one spot difference. Certainly, if you think I put someone 10 spots too low, or if I put someone 10 spots too high, then let me know. again, I want to let you know 1 through 5, like again, doesn't necessarily mean that they are the MVP. Best player in the league does not always mean MVP. Remember that. Again, I want to hear your input, what you think about it. Again, it's all of what you view as a good season. Sometimes I use it as a good season to their standards, which I did. You heard me do a lot when I was looking at some player stats, and then some. It's like against competition. Like I know people love LeBron and people love Curry, KD, Harden, Anthony Davis, all this, but just because they are childhood favorites and the people we grew watching up, you can't ignore that they're getting worse. You can't ignore that some of their seasons weren't as great as they had been, and that some of these young guys, Shea, Tatum, Ant, Brunson, Mitchell, Paolo, even beating out a guy like Durant in my eyes, Vic beating a guy over like Curry and Harden and all that out of my eyes, like it just depends on what you prefer. But let me know how I did. I think this is my final thing that I'm going with. Again, everything from 1 through 25, I would say is in order. Potential snubs is not in order. Those are just 5 players. So don't think, oh, he thinks Darius Garland had a better season than Kyrie, whatever. But again, 1 through 25 should be in order. Then potential snubs not in order. But that's all. Thank you for watching. We'll be back, and I like doing these kind of rank things where I say how their seasons went. But again, top 25 players based on this season. I could do one where I do with injury, so like guys like Luca, Anthony Davis, Vic, Paolo, Durant, so a lot of those guys won't be there, but I think I am eventually when all the awards get announced, all NBA, MVP, and everything like that. I'm going to show you guys what my predictions were before the season started. And that video I'm excited for. But again, we're just waiting for MVP announcement to come out, which will be, let's see. Mm, um, I don't. It won't say. I think it's supposed to come out anytime now. May 20th is what I'm seeing. So maybe tomorrow. I think the first day of the conference finals is when they do it. All NBA teams. I'm not sure. Let's see. All NBA teams will be announced. No, hold on. Let me Tuesday, May 20. Oh, okay. So that is 100% the All NBA and stuff. Um, Tomorrow, 2 p.m. It looks like it says. Um, so that video will be coming out soon, where I show you my predictions that I made, and I wrote down and I kept written down for something like this the whole season. And I will show you proof. I will show you whatever that I will not make changes to it. And I will show you flat out who I thought was going to win each award, what seed everyone was going to be, and then at the end of the playoffs, we will also do. I did how I thought the playoffs were going to go. But again, we'll get there when those all come out. But that's all.